What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. The topic today is exploitation of the black struggle. Okay? Exploitation of the black struggle. We must be very, very careful while we are in the struggle, while we are in the fight, while we are trying to piece ourselves together to become a unified group of people. While we're trying to do this, we need to be very careful about the exploitation of our struggle, because the main thing about us is that we're being exploited. When you exploit something, it's because you see value in it. Okay, you see something that you see something in the object that you want, you need. And if you just step back and look at a world macro view, not a micro view. Most people thinking is in the micro view, meaning they only think locally. They only think about their neighborhoods. Some people only think about just their family and immediate, what's happening immediately outside their family, what's happening in their city, their state. Some people think about in their country. Some people think about the world. We need to think about the world. And not only do we need to think about the world, but not just our time period, but the totality of the time period of the exploitation of Africa and its people. We are exploited because people see value in us, period. They see value in us physically. Look at sports. I don't need to explain it. You can see it. Nature explains everything for itself. All right. You just got to pay attention to it. Sports, physically, we are exploited. Why? Because we are the best athletes in the world. Look what it takes for these European countries to win anything. They need to export. They need to utilize and exploit African strength, African intelligence, African speed, African field generalmanship. What I mean by field generalmanship is just like in boxing, you got ring generalmanship, meaning you know how to move about, you know how to command and operate your operating area, whether it be sports, fighting, football, American football, basketball. When it comes to the arena, we dominate. We have the ability to run it effectively for our side. It's known. It's just what it is. We just have it. Okay. And we have it in abundance. Therefore, people exploit that talent of ours for their own benefit. Okay. Our resources. People see Africa. They see the value in Africa. Obviously, that's why they need to exploit it, because they see the value. Don't let them think. Don't have them fool you in thinking that they really think that you have no value, or that they really think that your countries are what they like Trump like to say, shithole countries. They know that Africa is not a shithole continent. They know African people are not shithole people. They know we are smart people. They know we are physically superior people. And they like to use that to their own advantages. They fill their militaries up with our people. They've been doing it for 1,000 years. They fill their hospitals up with our doctors. Look at any hospital in America. What are you going to see? You're going to see Nigerians, Ghanaians, Cameroonian doctors. Also, what you're going to see? You're going to see black, not just Nigerian and Cameroon. You're going to see African American doctors too. We're in there. All right. What else you're going to see? You're going to see black nurses. You're going to see black African nurses specifically. You're going to see Ethiopian nurses. You're going to see Nigerian, Cameroon, Ghanaian nurses. You're going to see West African nurses. Why? Because they have the skill set and the patience and the ability to do this job like second nature. They just know how to do it good. And they have the education and they have the ability to absorb this information. It's being recognized. So we've always been recognized physically and mentally. Our architecture. Why do you think they bring us over here? Because we built, like the Washington, D.C. A black man built the design for this city. A black man built the design for a lot of major cities in the world. Now, just because they exploit us doesn't mean they're going to give us recognition for it. doesn't mean they're going to give us credit for it. Food, any food in America that tastes good is from us, period. African Americans, our food is the best. No, everybody knows it. We make the best food. We put the most soul in our food, and everyone loves it. But of course, people exploit that. So they'll get an African American to cook, but then on the sign of the store, you'll see it say Bill's Barbecue. But Bill's not the one cooking that barbecue. All right. It's Teresa in the back. She's cooking the barbecue. All right. And it's wonderful. It's her family recipe, and she's just making it. She don't have to write down the recipe. She knows how to do it. She don't follow instructions. She got it. It's already in her head. But Bill is going to make the money by exploiting Jessica, or Teresa. So it's things like that. Music, our ability to create magic through vocals, through vibrations. We are the masters of that. We're the masters. Now, they steal it. They take it. They put another cover over it. They say it's theirs. Elvis, one of the most famous thieves of black culture ever. And they celebrate him, the king of rock and roll. Even though he was not the king of rock and roll, he didn't start rock and roll, and his style was completely stolen and carbon copy, and there's history to it, to other black rock and roll artists at the time. You see? They tried it in what was it, the 90s or the 70s with Vanilla Ice? They made one of their first white rappers. He was popular. Why? Because he was white. They literally just exploited our culture, put something together, put a white face on it, and boom, made themselves a star, right? There's many examples of this going over and over and over. And it's about time that we recognize that we are actually we're not really hated. They look down on us only because some of their less educated people, they've been trained to do that because they need that. They need people to look down on us so they can reinforce what they've already taught us is that we are nothing. We contribute to nothing. We do nothing. We have nothing. Now ask yourself this: why would people be so adamant? Why would a group of people spend 400 or 500 years telling another group of people that they have absolutely nothing to contribute to society? Well, obviously they would do that because they need to convince not only themselves for their own ego and their own low self-esteem, and they need to convince us that we've never done nothing, so that when we never even try to do anything else new, and so that we don't try to discover what it is that we did do, and so we don't get inspired by our history. Because if we get inspired by history, it's going to make us do something even greater in the future. They do not want that. So what they rather do is exploit our culture. They rather take all the magic that they see from us, they rather take it from us instead of letting us use it the way we use it and letting them just enjoy it. They rather take it themselves, pervert it, and then they create their own thing. But every time they create something, it's never as good as the original. Nothing is as good as the original. Not even the remix. Okay? So we need to be aware of how we're being exploited in every facet: food, fashion, beauty, everything. We're supposedly, as a group of people who the other groups try to say that we're so ugly, why is it that the black woman is the standard? Big butt, curvy waist, big breasts, big full lips, cheeks. Every society outside of black society is utilizing the black woman as the standard of beauty. Why is that? But at the same time, hating on us. I always like to say, I probably said this in other videos, LeBron James is the best example of how the world hates on black folks, but yet loves black folks. They love LeBron James. He is the man. He's super tall, big and strong, young, well put together. He's amazing at what he does by playing basketball. He's amazing at that. And he's also a great businessman, and he's a great family man. He gives no controversy, no real significant controversy. He is an example of a good black man, a great black man, a powerful black man. And they hate it. They love him, but they hate it at the same time. They can't stand when he flexes his independence and his power. They can't stand it. They want him to shut up and play basketball. They want him to be the gladiator in the Coliseum that they see him for, and not the individual who has his own mind, his own thoughts about things, that goes against what they believe sometimes. They hate that. They hate that strong black man who has no controversy. They hate that. That's how they feel about us. They see the greatness in us. They don't think we deserve it. They don't think that we deserve these great muscles and this beautiful skin. They don't think we deserve that great, beautiful, luscious, rich land that we have over there in Africa. They don't think we deserve that. They want that. They want it for themselves. And they need to move us out the way so they can get it. And that's always been the plan. They want our culture. They want our spirit. They want our magic. They want everything we have. They want to be us, but they can't. So they're going to be as close as they can. And once they get as close as they can, they need to belittle us as much as they can. So maybe in their minds, one day they will be superior to us. And that's the complex that they have. We didn't create that complex. They created that complex. So I just want you guys to pay attention to the exploitation. Know who you buying stuff from. While we struggling, you see these black lives. We know in the black community, we know we're simply saying Black Lives Matter. We're using it the way it's Black Lives Matter. We're saying it. We mean it just like that. That's the only thing we mean. We don't care about no organization by some dude named George Soros that we don't care about, that may or may not be pouring money into various groups for their own political agenda. We don't care about that. It doesn't mean anything to overall black people. We're simply saying the words Black Lives Matters, period. And that's the only thing that black people actually represent in this whole struggle. But then you'll see shirts, you'll see cups, you'll see face masks that say Black Lives Matter. And then we as black people, we want to support that, right? We want to support that movement. Anything black, we want to support. But remember, anything that looks black right away may not necessarily be black. You need to ask yourself, where is this so-called black stuff that I'm buying to represent my support for my people? Where is this stuff being manufactured? Who is selling it? Is it really a black person at the end of the day that my money is going towards? Or is it some Korean who's decided they wanted to get in on the game so they can make some money? Is it some European that decided he wanted to sell some Kunta Kinte cloths and some African shirts and some Black Lives Matter t-shirts? Who is it? Who are you really supporting? Before you quickly go and purchase some of this so-called black-owned stuff, you need to find out, is it actually black-owned? Period. That way you know if you're being exploited or not. That's what needs to happen. We need to take a little bit more time, pay a little bit more attention, and be sure that we're supporting who we think we're supporting when we're doing that. Because this struggle that we are in, we've been struggling for 400 years. We're going to keep on struggling. And a lot of people make money throughout the struggle. And we should be the ones to at least make money through our own struggle. Because that's also part of the struggle, that we need to financially get ourselves together. We need to control our own resources, our own money, our own revenue, our own market, our own economy. We need to control that. Because without money, we don't have power. Without power, we can't do nothing. And it's just point blank. So all I want to say is we need to pay attention who's exploiting us, stop them from exploiting us, and we need to exploit our own selves properly, to our own selves, for us, by us. That's what we need to do. So that's all I want to say, guys. This Afro Think Tank, learn something, teach something. I'm out.